So that's why we at the NAACP and our partners are warning the Secretary of State they have 20 days to take the site down. If they don't take the site down in 20 days, they can expect to see us in federal court.
Strong words from the state president of the Georgia chapter of the NAACP. I had a phone call with him today after the NAACP sent a cease and desist letter to the Secretary of State of Georgia. If you don't know, the Secretary of State of Georgia had a website put up that allowed voters to cancel their registration by merely putting their information in. The problem with that is obvious. Anybody could put your information in and just cancel your voter registration. So the national president of the NAACP sent a cease and desist letter demanding that the website be taken down. Because this is all happening in Georgia, I got on the phone with the state president of the Georgia chapter of the NAACP and asked him a few questions. Here's the full phone call with Attorney Griggs.
Hey, Mr. Griggs, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to have my phone call here. I noticed that you guys the NAACP sent a cease and desist order to the state of Georgia. What was the purpose of the order, and what's the next step if the site stays up?
Yeah, so we received information and then confirmed that the Secretary of State had placed online an online portal on their website where people that have the information for voters can cancel the voter registration online. And we're worried about the cybersecurity ramifications of that, considering there have been several data breaches where the identifying information is readily available online. So we sent a notice through the NVRA to the Secretary of State that if registered voters are purged, we will commence with legal action, and we demanded that the site be taken down.
Do you feel like a site like this disproportionately affects black voters?
Yes, because there are groups in this state that are laser focused on removing communities of color, black people's voting rights. And so they have been targeting certain counties with unlimited voter challenges. In Gwinnett County, with 30,000 by itself. And so those counties that have large African-American populations are being targeted. And it's really easy to get this information that would necessitate them being targeted.
Oh, wow.
On the website that was launched for an hour, all of the identifying information for the entire voter file was up and allowed people to access it. So all you need is the person's name, and the other information was on the site. So it just makes it easier for people that are trying to purge voters to actually remove black voters.
Now, based on what you verified, if someone goes in there and puts in the identifying information, is there any confirmation by the Secretary of State's office that person put the information in?
Well, the only saving grace, and no, there's no confirmation from the Secretary of State's office that person, that voter, actually moved to cancel their own voter registration. But even with that, the only saving grace for this system is the information is then sent to the local election board to verify it. If it wasn't for the verification, thousands upon thousands of people would be purged automatically. And that's
Wow.
the fear that we have, because there is no authentication of this process. Why in the world would the Secretary of State allow this to happen but for assisting in voter suppression?
My last question to you would then be, why would such a site even be put up?
Such a site would be put up because people are believing in the big lie that millions upon millions of unregistered voters or illegal voters voted in the 2020 election. And of course, in the 64 cases that were litigated, there was absolutely no evidence of widespread voter fraud. So the Secretary of State is becoming complicit in this lie and the promulgation of the lie, which is leading to actual voter suppression. We know that after the 2020 election, there's been an attempt to purge millions of voters around the country, and Georgia is ground zero for that happening. So that's why we at the NAACP and our partners are warning the Secretary of State they have 20 days to take the site down. If they don't take the site down in 20 days, they can expect to see us in federal court.
I love it. I want to personally thank you on behalf of just the American citizens for protecting voters' rights to vote, standing up against a system that's clearly trying to suppress and oppress, and like you said, buying into the big lie. I appreciate your time today, Mr. Griggs.
Appreciate you, and thank you for getting the word out. We are going to stand up and fight back. This is not 1950 or 1850. We have the ability and the rights to push back against these illegal and immoral attempts to remove access to the ballot.
I love it.